Good day, viewers, readers, and watchers. I hope all is well out there. We will continue with the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity. Let us continue. Let us begin. The most gracious of the gracious, do not leave us out. I am remiss to say that this chapter is a new chapter, and the chapter is entitled Appeal to Overmind. I will resume and start again. The most gracious of the gracious, do not leave us out. Bring your love and tenderness, take everything away, and leave our soul blossoming on the Calvary of our life. Don't judge us too severely for lost feelings for you. Creator, your lasting creation asks you and prays. Have mercy on everyone who is on earth. Make every soul yours, and let it be yours forever. Our unity with you should be at the highest level of spiritual life. Although our life doesn't always look worthy on your side, we are trying. Some movements only hamper us from implementing your idea till the end. Have mercy, Lord, on our children and parents. Raise your hands of creation above us and bless us for the right path of our being. Our earthly path is your will, not ours, for we didn't ask. You created us. We should be following your path, not the path that we are chosen for ourselves. We must always remember that God is watching. God is watching to see, are we staying on his path? God is looking to see if we are staying on his path or on the path we've created for ourselves. Occasionally, we might stray from the path that God has for us. We are only human. What God is watching to see is that if you stray from the path, from his path, from doing things that would honor him, what he is watching for is that if we stray from his path, do we get back on his path, or do we ignore him and be selfish, stay on our own path? That's what he's really watching for. Our earthly path is your will, not ours. Yet punishing us for that, you created us. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, Creator. You teach us how to be, how to behave in life. We must always remember that you are watching how we behave in life, watching to see if we stray, watching to see if we ever get back on his path. If he has punished us once for straying off of his path, always know that he can punish us again. The goal is, if you get off of his path, if you stop honoring him by going to church, by praying, he wants to see if you'll get back on his path or stay on your own selfish trajectory. God, you are the Almighty, and we are your followers who live. We see no soul, but we feel that there is something. You teach so that our feelings expressed in our bodies and minds. While we know that life is beautiful only for our body and what the soul needs, we haven't gotten a full answer. We must remember that your plan is for us to always remember you, to hold our family dear, and to realize that they are a precious gift. Now, it's your word, Creator. After all, nobody else can teach us the way you can. Explain our truth, and when we feel your strength and power completely, we will be on your side, on your good side. When we stray off of path, follow our own trajectory, when we are not in church, when we are not in prayer, we are not on your good side. If we are unable to attend church, then we should be praying. We should be holding our loved ones dear and our families close. When you see we are not doing that, we are not on your good side. And punishment, a first time and a second time and a third time can occur. We must always be mindful of this. Mindful of staying on your good side, dear God. Flying in the flow of cosmic idol, that is not where we should be. Idle hands, boredom, is the devil's playground. The devil will put things in our path that seem sweet, seem kind, seem nice, and seem perfect. That is of the devil, and that is not of God. God asks for us to stay on his path and his trajectory. It's tough for us to go without seeing the leader, but when we see you, then we'll keep your image and we'll always be next to it. Come to us with all your strictness and bliss. Whenever you decide, then come. It is hard to stay on the path of God. It might seem boring. It might not seem fun. It might not seem easy. But at the end of the day, it is your will, and it is your will that will be done. When we try to create our own life, a life that's not full of you, it might shine bright, it might shine pretty, it might seem exactly where we want to be. But again, it's not about where we want to be. It's about where you want us, Creator. You won't see the permafrost in our souls. It seems so kind and seems so right to go our selfish ways, to go the ways that's not full of you. That's not what you have written in the Bible. Those ways seem wonderful. Those ways seem right. We must know that those ways are of the devil. At the end of the day, we must keep our eyes on you. We must keep our path on your trajectory. When we are going in another path, a path against you, you will punish us eventually. We might enjoy something for one moment that might seem a lifetime. But at the end of the day, if that moment is not of you, that moment will end, and we will be punished swiftly again and again. If we get back on your path and stay on that path, you will show us favor. They will melt in front of your supernatural power. Take a look our way, and we will bow to the eye of your strength and thought. The beginning is yours. We are just movement of your beginning, and we are eternal to move. Teacher, with our Father, I was talking on your behalf. This is not a request, but a spiritual prayer to my Father, and it should be heard from all of you as I taught you all. My children, saved by the bliss of the Holy Spirit, understand and explain all living in faith. Think about Father, your Creator. Think about the things that you do. Right before you do something, think, is this in God's favor or is this my own selfish act? You know the answer. You know what you do is right or wrong. You will do the wrong thing. But the thing to know is if you do wrong, at some point, start doing right again, or punishment will be severe and swift. It is not confusing, but joyful to read your thoughts and hear the revelation you pronounce before the kingdom of heaven. A minor thought will already tell that I didn't live in vain for 33 years on earth and sacrificed for all of you. People are eternal beings. How beautiful you are when you think and dream about me. How rude when you reject me. A lot of you are constantly rejecting me. You feel me entering your spirit. You hear me entering your thoughts. You push me out because you want to do what you want to do. You know I am watching. And when you are doing what you want to do, and I try to speak to you to say this isn't right, this isn't the way I want you to go, you close your eyes and your ears and your heart to me, and you say, no, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. This is what I want. I. You hear me speaking to you. You hear me in your heart and in your prayers. If you pray, you know that I am watching and see all that you do. When you are not doing what I would want for you to do, when you are not doing what you know you should not be doing, you try so hard to not hear me because it is your selfish ways. But try not to be selfish, for I am watching. You see perfection in yourselves. Sometimes deny it. But when it gets uneasy in all situations, why is it when it's uneasy? Why is it when it's hard? Why is it when you feel that all hope is gone and things aren't the way you want? Why do you come to me then? When I set you free and give you what you ask, you reject me again? I am watching. Coming to me in your time of need. I answer your prayers, but yet, free, you reject me once more. You come to me and our communication looks differently. Why is that? Why, when you were down and out, you came to me? I healed you, I uplifted you, I freed you, and now free, you go back to doing your selfish deeds. One can put up with everything. You come to me, to my spiritual space, and one can forgive everything. Forgiveness is the key to everything. Kindness is the key to everything. If you are unable to forgive, that presents a challenge. I have forgiven you. Should you not forgive your brother, your sister, for anything that they've done to you? If I can forgive you and you can't forgive others, this is not good. This is not God. You must learn to forgive if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven. You must have forgiveness on your heart at all times. That I should forgive you and you can't forgive. Pause on that and reflect. That is not of God. You must be forgiving. Imagine the stairs going up by which you go, seeing the bright light of mine ahead. If someone loses footing at this figurative stair, then he will end up in the darkness. If you can't forgive, you will end up in the darkness. I might let you shine bright for a moment. I might let you live the way you think you ought to, live the selfish way that you want. But eventually, you will meet punishment again, and you will be in a deeper darkness than you ever were before. I urge you not to lose the footing, because flight towards the light is a miracle, but falling only means falling in the abyss of darkness. Is that where you want to be because you want to be selfish, because you cannot forgive? The darkness absorbs forever. Light has its true immortality. Be forgiving, be kind, follow me, and not your own ways. Injury of one's soul, they may be a different kind, but if it's injury, then I choose whether to heal the injured soul or not. And remember, if you were ever injured in whatever way that may be, know that it was I that healed you, that fixed you and chose to. How do you treat me after I've healed you? How do you treat me after I've freed you? How do you give back to me when I've answered your prayers? Do you still reject me once again? I know how to do it. I teach my disciples. The path to thorns of the soul is always related to God, because the spiritual thorns are kingdom of great space, possession of God, and the path there is still lit up by a bright golden light. Movement happens there every second. The movement is endless. Angels accompany people on the path, showing the delights of the Overmind, God. All newly arrived are warmly welcomed by those who are already in the kingdom. Tears and joy, music and divine light surround the creation, comfort and cherish, entering the gates of truth, escort to God Creator. First meeting with Creator inspires everyone and puts on the path of new light and brightened light. New baptism takes place, and deliverance of honorable souls, a kind of possession, happens along the heavenly kingdom. At the end of God's ritual, souls are given some time to rest and get to know better, because it's their eternal heritage to get to know better. You must try to always do better in your knowing. Don't fall back into your old ways. Your old ways are not of God. The entire spectacle looks like a single energy of light, the rainbow light of incredible force. For this is all the beauty of God. First steps to immortality remind the moment of human birth, but in another concept and another world. God's kingdom has no boundaries, and therefore all souls feel in awe in the flow of heavenly wisdom. You are older, are you not? But are you not wiser? Do you carry on as you did in the days of your youth? Or are you carrying on as I would want you in your older years? Older meaning older than when you were younger. Or if I look at your life, do I see you living in the same way you did in your youth? Are you still living that way after I've answered your prayers? After I've freed you? You're still living in the way you did when you were younger? Aren't you too old for that? Aren't you too old to remain selfish? Aren't you too old to not forgive? Something to ponder. The God's idol and what has been disbelief on earth will become a full reality for you, since immortality is not an invention, but the law that says, continuation in me and my truth, in the higher spirituality. You say you believe in me, you say you're Christian, you say you trust God, but you don't act in ways that do. Everyone around you cannot see your actions, be they good or bad. But remember, I see all of your actions. I know what you do in the darkness of the night. And you know when these things are not the right thing. You know when these things are not the things that I would approve of. Yet you do them anyway? Why? The hierarchy of cosmos protects the law. No one will be hurt in the honored kingdom because there's no place for grief, only goodness, and peace and love and tenderness. Light and warmth will surround you for all of your eternal life. My truth has its sense, a whole infinity in it, about immortality of eternity, limitlessness. Can be said a lot since there's nothing more beautiful. Earthly life contains the sacraments for you. Here, they will be revealed to you in full and start showing a little now, at this point. For the one who didn't eat the fruit won't know its taste. The manuscript started with the chapter, What is a Thought? Now you've completely ascertained that thought. It's a relationship with God. Do you have a relationship with God? Do you have a good relationship with God? And if you don't, why is that? Is it because you are wicked in your ways? Is it because I have freed you and you reject me when I think to you, when I speak to you? The more you develop thought, the more you'll know about everything, about premortal and infinite. But conscious only turns to overmind in eternity. On earth, it sometimes happens vice versa, transferring you to the world of complete truth. I will reform those who turned away from the truth and married the lawlessness. Are you married to lawlessness? You know if you do wrong. You know if it's lawlessness. That's why when I speak to you, you don't respond in kind. A single and faithful companion of a human is his soul. All beauty of people is in the communication with their souls. Are you close and connected to your family? Do you spend quality time with them? This is key. Soul and God are one and strong in their kingdom. Man is the deity, emerald, and immortality is the setting. Are you spending time at home? This is key. Home is where God is. Home is where the heart is. When you stay away from the home, you're challenging God. Is this what you want to do? God is the beauty of the setting and the color diversity of the emerald. A thought is the divine beginning of true faith in the beginning. Only disbelief is fear of God. God is a bright light in eternal being. Man is the spark of light, and this is never ending and will be at all times. The power is in the strength of intelligence and accurate communication with it. If so, the firmament won't break them. The harm is laid in the ignorance, not by God, but the ignorance by himself, the one who praises evil in the darkness, the ones that do not hold their family dear and do not hold my words clear, the ones who ignore me when they are in the wrong, the ones who don't listen. Limitlessness is the advance of thought, cognition of limitlessness, because everything is surmountable if a thought is right. The unbeliever is lost in his thoughts and lost not only for God, but for himself. Society of lost in their disbelief will be sealed with the truth. Let the faith bloom, a noble ideal of bliss, loyalty, and honor of all living things. Teacher. You cannot be ahead of time. You have to learn the present, merge with it through a single connection, and fly in unity for all of the immortality. Life on earth should also be cherished, for the more you live in a body, the stronger is your soul, and passing to another dimension will be easier. In general, you should value the created, for this is created for you. Disciple, tell me, please, those who entered the pyramids were punished by an invisible force. Were those punished who destroyed temples and churches in 1918 in Russia? Desecrated the name of God by that? Teacher, who did anything of the kind got their punishment? This is regarding churches and temples. As for pyramids, here can be the following answer. You didn't build them. All the structures were made long before my advent. Aliens from the constellation of Orion. And the Sphinx head always looks toward the constellation that proves that people didn't build it, but aliens from outer space. You shouldn't invade the sacrament of pyramids yet, because it's not the time, and those who did, I have them. Disciple, what was 50,000 years ago then, here? How did the Lunskite region territory in particular, where I lived, look like? Teacher, it was a water surface. Time did its job, and currently you see what you see. These are not even rivers, just brooks, remained from the vast sea. Generally, it is an interesting question, and we could go on, but a little later. Imagine that you currently live at the bottom of the ancient Arasaro Sea. The earth was forming, and water was backing. Surface appeared, which was gradually inhabited by people. There were small arcs, but only on the river banks, because sand and sea and salt were everywhere. The formation was going. Forests and meadows appeared. Life was taking its way. There was enough food, a lot of fish, various kinds of animal. Then there were a high tide again. But thankfully, not everything died. People returned to their land and continued to breed. Forgiveness was everywhere. Ask yourself constantly, are you forgiving? Do you forgive others as I have forgiven you? As a person who believes in God, you understand forgiveness. It should be implemented in your life. Disciple, yes, it's exciting. Tell me, please, can you describe the places, location, and specify the deposits of minerals? Teacher, certainly. It is all possible. The main thing is for you to believe, because now it's tough to prove. It is a job for geologists here. Regarding the deposits in the earth depths, soon I will tell you, and you will mark all of them on a map. But I'm afraid the marked will just remain on the map. Disciple, when you were taken to crucifixion, Asarassus offended you. Now there is a legend about him as the wandering Jew. Is it true? Teacher, right and true. He has no place anywhere, neither on earth nor in heaven, nor hell. He will only find rest when he feels the same what I have felt on the day of my death. Disciple, does your name sound the same on other planets as on earth? Jesus Christ, Asai? Teacher, no, differently. But in translation, yes. The meaning is one, the Holy Spirit, God, and Creator. Disciple, how to heal oneself? Teacher, only by faith in God and inner me. Disciple, will there be the war of worlds? Teacher, as long as there is God, there won't. Disciple, did Nicholas Roshiko hear you the same as me? Teacher, everything happened exactly the same, and the merit of Rosikowitz that they believed in me in the comparable form. Disciple, they say in India that gods are born on earth. Is it true? Teacher, thoughts sent by God to earth give rise to intelligent people, but not vice versa. The one that preaches my truth is my brother, because I was in the body and know what it is. Disciple, psychologist Carl Jung said that in every one of us there is someone else. Some people deny it or say something else. Where is the truth? Teacher, in your body and around you. If there was no soul inside you, your angel savior, you simply would not exist. Disciple, is it true that the fifth gospel of Thomas, he dictated himself? Disciple, is it true that the fifth gospel of Thomas, he dictated himself? Teacher, no, I was dictating. He only recorded and made slight clarifications because sometimes he didn't hear. Disciple, once in Jerusalem, your mother Mary and Father Joseph lost you at the fair, but they found you in a synagogue with the elders. They were surprised. You were discussing the sacred text. Teacher, certainly it's true, only they didn't lose me. I was 12 and a half years old. It was Saturday. The day was cloudy, and I saw a bright flash in the sky and heard the father of my voice. Jesus, go to the synagogue and offer your knowledge to the elders. So I did. In the synagogue, elders greeted me with smiles. I started talking to them and offered them my doctrine, or what my father taught me. They were surprised at everything they heard. One of them, named Abel, said, "Yes, the Magi were right. The Son of God is among us, and he is already teaching us, and will teach all the people." After that, I met the elders more often, and our talks were intense and spiritual. Disciple, what is the cosmic secret of love? Teacher, if you answered what the earth's secret of love is, then you will understand the cosmic. And technically, these are two poles, negative and positive, and between them, there's a place for love and delight. Dear readers, we will pause there and continue another time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for you. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Good evening and God bless.